Hello, everybody. I am Potato Evan, the internet's least favorite vegetable. So I am here
you
today.
said it. I didn't.
Well, yes. So, give me 1 second.
What was that?
Oh, we're getting rated, I guess.
Yeah,
With the wind?
I forgot to
Tuxedo
mute.
mask.
I forgot to mute myself. I have my own link up, and I forgot to mute myself. Yeah, I just shocked myself with the sound of my voice. I'm so sorry. So today we're going to talk about nostalgic television and all this crap that we love from back in the day before this wokeness came in. So, hey there, Machi. Good to see you. So, as our guest, Mary, would you like to take us off and walk us through the tales of nostalgia called whatever show you want?
Okay. Well, I guess people have a different definition of classic, but my first one is the show Friends.
Okay.
I'm holding it in.
Yeah, my favorite episode was the pants episode. It was great.
Yes. Friends were...
Go ahead.
Friends, I started watching Friends when I was basically, I had a very bad viral infection. And I was on the couch wishing that I was dead. Everyone's like, what else is
such an easy joke about that, but I'm not going to do it.
I know, you wish I was dead every day, Mom.
Whoa, hey, don't get me wrapped up in that shit.
So, anyway, it came on TV, and we have Comedy Central over here. They literally only plays two things. Impractical Jokers, four things. Impractical Jokers, Friends, Everyone Loves Raymond, and Impractical Jokers 2.
Good God.
That's it. On the loop. So I watched every episode of Friends except for the episode where... Mary, can you tell which episode of Friends I don't watch?
No.
It's the one where Joey invites his parents to Monica and Chandler's wedding, and Monica has to phone him. Do you remember the line?
No.
So when they were sitting there, they were talking, and this episode is widely hated in this country. Like they're sitting there, and they're like, "What are they? Irish?"
Oh.
And I'm just sitting there like, "Fuck you, Mom."
Wow.
But yeah, Friends was back in its day. I know that you guys hate it, but back in its day, Friends was actually quite good. There's still actually conventions solely for Friends.
Before anybody gets into the weeds on that, it's worth noting in my case, I hate most sitcoms, so it's not that biased in my case.
Yeah, I don't like many. That was one of them.
Yeah.
That I like.
But yeah. Rennie A says that she loved Friends. Yes. Friends was actually kind of good. Like there was a few times that it did get a chuckle out of me. Hey Machi. So yeah. So anyone else want to go on and say about their ones?
Hey, man, it's your show. Just do them in order. You got images and all that.
Yeah, okay. So, first ones I was loading up, we're going to be tackling you.
All right.
Okay? This looks like, if I'm right, the classic V.
Yes, this is the original from back in the 80s. Obviously, this came out in the 80s. I was fairly young when this was playing. But one of my mother's faults was not that she sheltered me from what was on fucking television. Because those of you that know me know the kind of shit I was watching when I was like 10 years old. Into like American Werewolf in London and shit like that. So this was a show that my mother watched that she got me started on. It was it started out as kind of a movie. It was a made-for-TV movie called V. And the movie was pitched as a pilot episode for a television series. Well, the movie was successful enough that they actually funded the series, and so you had this series where these ships show up abruptly, and they're all over the world, And then eventually, after a set period of time, these shuttles come down from the ships with these people in these red uniforms. You see, oh my God, I cannot remember his name. But he and Diana there are two of the first ones to come down, along with the guy who's supposed to be their leader, this guy named John. And they use human names because they claimed that the pronunciation of their real names would be impossible for humans to manage. And it's also why they claimed that they took on these appearances. And it was it started out very, very, I don't want to say slow, but it started out where you kind of needed to pay attention to what was going on because there was very subtle things happening even early on. We are seeing that these guys are not quite as benevolent and friendly as it's made out to be. People that are asking too many questions about them start to disappear. The news media suddenly becomes very particular about what they'll talk about when it comes to the visitors. And slowly over time, the authorities kind of get taken over by the visitors, where the police are reporting directly to them and that sort of thing. And it slowly becomes apparent as people start looking into more of why people are being silenced and disappearing, that the visitors actually came here not on any kind of goodwill mission. They came here for resources, which was water, mineral resources, and food, which included people.
So what you're saying is this is a documentary series.
Yes.
maybe up until you get to the point of the eating of people, anyway.
Speaking about crimes, okay, one of my favorite shows, and this is one of my guilty pleasure shows, Murder, She Wrote. I have seen.
My dad watched that a lot.
My grandmother watched it. They still do.
My dad kind of watched that, but he was too busy watching Matlock most of the time.
Look, I was born at 50. I was born 50. But the thing is, I watched this show all the time, and my biggest question is, why has she never been investigated?
That's a great question, yeah. This woman is somehow connected to like 5,000 murders.
Right.
Every single show, so I'm going to be my niece or nephew. Is your family rabbits?
Also, so what you're saying is Murder, She Wrote is actually a show about
turn out to show she has a higher body count than Dexter.
Exactly.
So basically, this is a show about an extremely successful serial killer. Only it's from the point of view of somebody who doesn't realize that the protagonist is actually a serial killer.
Yeah, but the thing is, Arms, she's a writer, and she goes around this weird little perfect village on a bicycle, but everyone there always dies. Okay? And there's never a big mass investigation on why this whole city is either screwing each other or killing each other. There was one episode where the dog killed someone because it thought this guy killed its owner. I'm not kidding.
Oh
this actually sounds like a Twilight Zone horror series.
Mm.
Hello, Middle Earth story time.
Hey,
good to see you. But yeah, it's hilarious and it's so cringy, and I absolutely love it. There was one episode where she actually got all Jessica Fletcher, the actress who plays her, I forget
Angela Lansbury, man.
Thank you. Angela Lansbury gets all dolled up in a low-cut shirt, has a martini glass in her hand, waddles her way over to the bar, and is putting on the worst American accent ever. And it's like, hello there, darling. Can I get a drink?
God.
To try and find this sleazy guy who hangs out in bars, who kills people.
Jeez.
She also, in every episode, goes in and she asks everybody, oh, thank you, Edwin.
Oh, hey, Bob Kinney.
She goes in and she routinely asks the police to give her the files, and they give them to her.
Yeah, I never quite got that one, man.
Just like here, take them.
I was like, Matlock's got an excuse. That motherfucker's a lawyer. He can request shit like that.
Yeah, no, she's a writer, and they even had a young Geordie LaForge in it. What
the hell? Because she's not even officially a PI. She's just writing shit.
She's some nosy
Some
bitch on the
random
bike.
nosy author chick. Like what?
Oh my god, she'll complain. Give her the paperwork.
She's gonna write an angry book about our police
I will,
department.
She's
I
like
will
canceling the police on Twitter.
yes. I will never forget the one where she was designing a video game, and back in the 90s, and you never heard about this game afterwards, right? And she's there, and it's like, yes, I don't like this locked door. Why? Because
Max, that's about the only explanation I could come up with.
Yeah. Hey, Maxis. It's so good to see you, girlie. Yeah. It's police are like, oh, sweet old lady.
It's the only possible explanation I could fucking manage.
Fucking too right. And I was there and I was looking and I could not help but laugh. There was just one episode where she let a serial killer go because he
Wait, you
murdered
fucking
them.
what?
Yeah, they got lodged in his cabin. It was winter. All the cars got flat. There was a snowstorm. And there was this guy and he killed there was this dude found dead. Murdered by a stab to the back. Okay? One of the stabs came from an icicle. Lodged in his back. And the whole...
What in the nine hells is that?
It is called a troll.
Twat.
I just put him in timeout.
Yeah.
This fool's got really? Really?
Yep.
Bad troll.
Yeah.
What in the
So,
nine hells did you piss off from China?
China
It's not
There
it's,
we go.
it's a dude with a Korean username and a picture
Korean,
of.
excuse me.
It looks
Yeah,
like a certain German politician from the 1930s in front of the KFC logo as his user handle.
Which makes
His
perfect
avatar.
sense.
yeah, so guys, I just blocked him. Anywho.
Thank you.
But
Hey,
yeah,
Waffles.
but so he was stabbed in the back, the thing melted, and it turned out the guy who was dead had killed this 4-year-old in a hit and run. When the 4-year-old ran out onto the street. Okay? Yeah. So she stood there and he just walked away
I'm sorry, the comment.
into the snowstorm.
Fucking weed.
Damn it, Bob.
But
There you go.
so that is Murder, She Wrote in a nutshell. So let's go to Armchair Warlord,
All right.
a resident author, and he wanted to instruct me to talk about.
Yes,
Mash.
Maxis, they do, and thank you.
Yes. So my presentation on MASH is very simple. First of all, despite the fact that I'm a giant
I love
weeb, so
MASH.
you'd think that my favorite TV show would be an anime. No, it's MASH. Second of
Hey,
all,
there,
MASH
Alex.
is the best TV show ever made.
Yeah.
Ever.
I
So-
cannot disagree. I fucking
The
love
ending,
MASH.
the ending of the I don't know if it was the ending of the show, but where please tell that chicken to shut up makes me cry every time.
You know, I think actually, and by the way, my contention that MASH is the best TV show ever made is supported quantitatively because I think its finale remains the highest rated program ever shown on TV in America.
Yeah. It's also pretty well up there. It's like whenever anyone does a classic poll over here, it's like Dad's Army, Only Fools and Horses, MASH.
Yeah.
And
No,
the team,
and actually, it's one of the few shows that got better as it went along. Like most shows, yeah, they're good starting off and they have sort of a strong run and then they decline. MASH got better in its later seasons.
yeah.
I disagree. I actually like BJ and the later cast more than the early cast.
1 second now.
I watched it some, but I didn't watch it enough to formulate an opinion on any of that.
Which may mark me as a heretic and by Mark the Infinitely Tired. However, so what Mark is saying here is actually, can you show you put up the first picture I sent you?
Yeah,
Robin?
1 second. No. I'm just messaging someone else to come up on panel. Okay, so first picture you sent me. Sorry, because these didn't go up in order. So which picture is this?
This was the no, it's just the first picture I sent you chronologically.
Oh, yeah, okay. Give me
The
1
one I
second.
said was the early cast.
Oh yes, my mistake. Sorry, I'm so professional. Boom. There we go. No.
Yes, that
What if the
picture.
enemy
is
got a
also-
hold of our food? We'd win the war.
Yeah. Okay. So give me one.
We'll just leave this one up while Revan finds the correct picture.
I
God
never-
bless the USA.
I'll say I have very little to argue about with that one in the front in particular.
I'm feeling patriotic as we speak, gentlemen.
Okay, this is like
first, for some reason it never saved. Okay.
So what?
Oh no, it did. I'm an idiot.
Ah, there we go.
there we go. No, that's the later cast.
That's the later cast.
Yeah, this is the later one. There we go.
That's the first one.
So this was the cast early in the show, which was sort of before it hit its stride, and the
Oh my God, we got another one.
Oh, for. Okay.
do we?
It's the same jackass actually, because I noticed
Seriously?
a condom down there again.
Can you just block
Yep,
him out
immediately.
outright?
Oof. It's time to try and.
I just hit him.
Yeah.
What is up with these people?
I don't even know. Anyway, so early in the show, which still had a very strong cast, but there was sort of a deficiency with the early sort of set of characters, and that nobody could really get one over on Hawkeye. Hawkeye is the guy with the black hair in the in the center left. He's the main. Really, like nobody could get one over on Hawkeye because so you've got Trapper John McIntyre, who was his buddy, so he wasn't trying to do it, and you have Frank, who's sitting to his left in the picture. The thing about Frank is Frank was pathetic. He was a bad surgeon. He was an idiot. He was a martinet, and their commander.
Shit.
What?
No, that's not the commander.
It's way different than I remember.
Yeah, that's not the show I remember.
You might
And,
want to remove that from the picture bank.
God.
No. I am so sorry.
God.
Just
No,
know.
it's fine. It's fine.
Ooh.
And their commander, who's the guy in the fishing hat in the back, he was kind of a dummy. So the thing was like, sort of Hawkeye could kind of run circles around everyone, and in the early part of the show, and that was just how the dynamic was. Also, Klinger was still cross-dressing, which that okay. So show one of the later.
I don't remember who the guy in the front is. The guy in front of the chaplain is. I don't remember who that is.
The guy in the front of the chaplain is that's
in the older picture, in the older cast picture, not the new.
Yeah, that's Radar. He was the orderly.
Radar. Okay, I couldn't remember his name.
Radar was great.
Radar O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So this was the later cast, and I think this group of characters was actually much stronger because Hawkeye actually had some competition. So you had first of all, to get this out of the way, Klinger
Is
stopped.
it wrong of me as little as I watched? Is it wrong of me? I kind of missed Radar in the latest seasons.
I mean, Radar was good. I think his characters had to leave the show for personal reasons. I mean, I liked him, but I also liked what they did with Klinger afterwards because they made Klinger like straighten up. And he was actually pretty
watching MASH.
But like Klinger turned into a serious character in the later on. It was good. Also, the other thing with this group of characters here is that here Hawkeye has competition because first of all, Colonel Potter can actually Colonel Potter was a straight up like military man. He could actually like make him do things. And also Winchester replaced Frank, and Major Winchester so Frank was pathetic. He was a bad surgeon. He was a bad soldier. And it really, he was just, there's nothing good about the guy. Winchester, like him and Hawkeye did not like each other. Right. But Winchester was an excellent surgeon. And also he was like very smart, and he could get stuff over on Hawkeye. Like, so it wasn't just Hawkeye just winning all the time. There was some like genuine, I'd call it comedic conflict that was going on.
Yeah.
And Father Mulcahy remained amazing.
Yeah.
And also show up, put up the hospital scene there.
The hospital. Yep.
Yeah. Also, the nice thing about MASH is like, okay, it was a very funny show, but it was also a very serious show at a lot of times because it was about the Korean
it had
War.
to be. It was set during the Korean War.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was set during the Korean War. They really dealt with the war like a lot, very seriously. And there's
as memory serves, there were a few episodes where they actually lost patience.
They did.
Yeah.
And they filmed episodes where they filmed one episode in particular. They filmed a couple of like just horror episodes, like people just having nightmares. They filmed a episode in black and white with no laugh track, where it was just the cast telling stories of like actual medical stories from the Korean War. Like it was so cold they had to hold their hands over the patient's
serious?
Just to like warm up.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what's up?
Yep. I've got.
We had another Korean troll pop up.
What is going on with these people?
Apparently, AW's weebiness has attracted the Asians.
Jesus Christ.
I don't even know. And also, so it really dealt with the Korean War in like a very serious way for a comedy, even though it was ostensibly a comedy show.
Yeah, well, speaking about this, actually, the creator of Scrubs said that this was one of the things that inspired him during making Scrubs. Because Scrubs was originally going to be a completely slapstick, stupid comedy.
Yeah.
Right? But they actually said, no, he was watching this and he said, no, we're going to put heart into it. We're going to, like, actually interview real doctors.
Yeah. And also, put up the last picture I sent you of the
African American gentleman?
Yeah, that fella.
Yep. Okay.
And I actually I sent Revan this picture because it's relevant to the sort of the cultural war in the modern day. So this was a character they actually made for MASH.
Trolls must be bored.
This is Spear Chucker Jones, and he was introduced in the early seasons of MASH as a black doctor who sort of visited the unit occasionally.
Okay.
He was a black surgeon, and this actually is quite relevant to the sort of modern culture war. And the reason that Spear Chucker Jones does not appear in later seasons of MASH is not because the show had some kind of problem with African Americans. The reason that Spear Chucker Jones doesn't appear in later seasons of MASH is because they found out through historical research that there were 0 black surgeons in the United States Army in Korea. So he could not have been a surgeon working for the 407th.
So I'm guessing they just kind of hand waved it.
Yeah, they just had him stop appearing.
Yeah,
but they had a commitment to historical accuracy. There were not any black surgeons in the Army in Korea, so Spear Chucker Jones stopped showing up. After they found this out.
Let's hope they never try and make a more modern remake of MASH.
Actually, they've already tried, but every network is like, you want to do what, the match now? No. We can't do that. So I'm going to go over to Phoenix.
Sorry, Revan. Also, one more thing about MASH, which is actually when I was in Korea, I was stationed there for a little while with the Army, and I actually was stationed quite near where they're ostensibly set. So I've been to Uijeongbu many times.
So
they actually didn't do a bad job finding a part of California that kind of looked like it, although Uijeongbu has a lot more like trees and vegetation.
Yeah. Were you running around doing all the quoting MASH every time you were going around?
No, I was not. But
Bob, we completely and utterly agree with you.
Yeah, that should not be done.
Potato Revan endorses this message.
Also, MASH is perfect. So if you want more of it, just watch reruns. Done.
Yeah, simple.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, and as I said, okay, the last episode where he was on the bus with the I don't know what was going on, but I just remember this scene was where this woman was holding a chicken, and it turns out he was in therapy, and he said that she smothered a chicken, and they're like, okay, he goes, it wasn't a chicken. It wasn't a chicken. So, Phoenix. We'll talk. You want to talk about this?
Hey, I remember that show.
Good show.
Yeah,
Very good.
Very good. I was actually introduced to this on TV1, like many of the other shows. It was on TV1 in Australia, part of Foxtel cable network. The show ran from 1964 to 1972, and the husband of Samantha Stevens, played by Elizabeth Montgomery, was replaced by Dick Sargent, the original being Dick York. And Dick York was replaced in 1969. Although there's some rumor whether or not he was replaced because he was a homosexual. I do not know this. Another part says he had back issues.
Oh yeah, Bob. I remember that one. I don't know. I kind of liked this one a little better.
Yeah.
For what do I watch those kind of shows?
Well, I will admit this to you, Farv. Some of the older shows, like when you've got none to do, when you're waiting for a cab, when you're doing whatever, is just fun to just have on.
Yeah, I like the humor in it.
Yeah.
The fighting between the wife's parents and the husband. That's especially with Honora.
Samantha's mother, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, why'd you marry this human? You should use your magic whenever you want. No, mother. I like him. I love him.
I must say, for its times, the effects were brilliant.
Yeah, for its times.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. It still holds up. Even though the jump cutting, go, oh yeah, cut that in.
Jet, can I help you? What the hell?
And then you have the paranoid, nosy neighbor.
Yes.
Who's said downward spiral constantly.
Samantha made that poor woman's life hell. She is the reason she will end up in a mental institution. Oh my god. But yeah.
Can't stop.
But so let's see. Let's pick from the list. Mary, would you like to talk about this?
Oh shit.
Yes.
Get out.
Every
See,
woman's reaction.
That's like I was saying in chat, I like to watch the old classics like Dick Van Dyke, Bewitched, Mary Tyler Moore, I Dream of Jeannie, all those. I loved all of that stuff, and that to me is probably considered classic. But then everything kind of after that, I didn't really get started into TV until later, so that's why mine are like later. But I still consider this a classic show. The ending sucked. I hope that when they come back in November, they redo that.
I mostly quit watching TV when this came out, actually.
Really? I'm rewatching this now.
I think the last time I watched like actual television is when Millennium and the X-Files were still on.
I did watch the X-Files.
Give me 1 second. Can I talk to Mountains? Talk to Gamal?
Oh boy.
No, it's not bad. He's Irish.
No, I know. I was.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for derailing you, Mary.
Oh no, it's okay. But yeah, I'm rewatching this now to prepare for when it comes back out, and I'm just really enjoying it. There's a couple of seasons where it was kind of, but the one with oh goodness, what's his name? I can't think of the actor's name. The guy from Third Rock from the Sun.
Which one?
The
skinny guy with the
old guy
face, or the older guy?
Okay. The dad.
Yeah, okay. I have trouble remembering his name.
Oh goodness.
Something Lithgow. Was it John Lithgow?
Yes.
Yeah,
John Lithgow. He's a serial killer, I think, in season 3 or 4. Season 4.
Wow.
But yeah, he's amazing as the serial killer. He's awesome.
So speaking about endings that sucked, Mary, we're going to go right over into.
Oh god.
Oh yeah. See, this was great. Okay, so this is good because I love dragons, and the dragons in this are phenomenal.
Well,
yeah.
But the ending last
I
season,
get it, and honestly, it's part of the reason why I reacted the way I did.
Yeah. So It is actually up to season 7, the show was actually quite good.
Yeah, season 7, it just got fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, though. Like, so me and a friend at the time, we were watching the episodes come out live because a cousin of mine, if you're watching this, thank you, Matt. I'm going to punch you if I ever meet you. Then I will hug you. Would send me a message of the show as it went on.
Oh no!
Apparently, I didn't realize I could turn my phone off at the time, but there we go. So we were watching it, and in the very last episode, I was watching it live with a friend, and I was talking to him on Facebook, and I was like, "Why is he not dead? Why are they not dead? Why did they not die? How are they alive? Come on!" Like, and then
Yeah.
Shit, come on, man.
That last season, they just gave up.
You know what?
Yeah,
Season 8 was a train wreck on fire that launched itself into fucking deep space, but 7 wasn't that much better.
No, 7 was real slow.
Although I would like to note that I've never seen a reputation disintegrate as quickly in Hollywood as Dan and Dave's did after season 8.
Yeah, well deservedly.
Like those two were just the best thing in Hollywood, and then I think these days, like, their agent doesn't recognize them.
Dude,
Thank you, Maxis. The answer was in fact bullshit.
But you see, that's the thing, though. It was really, really funny because they had like 6, 7, 8 shows in the pipeworks, right? Dan and Dave between them.
Yeah.
They turned around Game of Thrones season 8, and they were reduced to a cameo where they made fun of themselves. Where I don't know the show, but they were standing there and they were writing, and someone, I think it was I forget the name of it, right? But they said, "So what do you think about these writers?" And it's like, "Nah, they can't finish anything." And the camera just pans over, and it's Dan and Dave just standing there.
Good God!
Apparently, they didn't know that's what they were going to say.
Oh God! And you know what? They deserved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Phil, now that you're back, we're going to go to you.
Wow!
Ooh.
Fucking in this motherfucker.
Okay, that
Good
guy's
job,
my
my son.
Yes, this is a show that I watched with my
I love
dad
Carol
a
O'Connor,
lot.
but to be fair, I saw In the Heat of the Night long before I knew this show existed.
What's with those hypnotic eyes?
Which
No,
one?
No, what's with the teeth? Look at the teeth. I can't. I cannot. Don't look at the teeth. They will destroy your soul.
So, yes, this is a show that I used to watch with my dad whenever it came on, like in reruns, obviously, because this was back in the fucking 70s that the show was, in production and shit. But, I always thought it was fucking funny. And, revisiting it later on, a couple years ago, actually, I got the first 2 seasons on DVD. The shit is fucking hysterical, man. Carol O'Connor plays Archie Bunker, and that is a name that should need no introduction. But if it is, let's just say he's a character that you would not be able to put on TV nowadays.
Hell, man, you can't even show reruns In the Heat of the Night anymore because of half of the shit he says in that.
Speaking about people you can't put on TV these days, Phil, we're going to go over to the one that'll make Phil talk for 4 hours.
Well, I don't know about for 4 hours, but
I would like to introduce everyone and welcome back to the panel after a very long hiatus, Maxis.
You brought me
Hey,
back
Max.
with Married with Children. I am afraid.
Oh boy!
What's going on, Max?
okay. So
Hello.
Okay, I'm gonna be that guy. By the way, of the people that were in there, she was annoying as hell, but Peg Bundy was actually pretty fucking cute.
She was.
I can't
how's
disagree.
it going?
Now, this is a show I don't know if I could consider it nostalgic.
And still gets
because-
rerun to this day.
I know, but for me personally, I remember back in, I believe it was before I was starting my sophomore year of high school. I would watch Nick at Night.
Yeah.
And back when they still had a decent lineup of old comedy shows and stuff, I thought they were pretty funny. But Married with Children, I remember they had for a weekend, maybe it was like a whole week, I don't fucking remember, it was years ago, but they had a marathon of Married with Children, and I must not have been old enough to appreciate it, or my attention span or something. I have no fucking idea, because when I was first watching this show then, I fucking hated it.
Wow. Man, Ed O'Neill's a fucking legend, and he might as well fucking be.
Yes, I know that now. I know that now.
Ed O'Neill was the only good thing in Modern Family.
I don't know what the hell that is, actually.
I can't disagree.
Modern Family is basically every rich family, like wet dream in
Lord
California.
have fucking mercy.
Yeah, it's there's a gay brother who's married to his husband with an adopted Asian daughter who's got a best friend who's non-binary. Then there's a troubled daughter, and all of them have huge houses. And
Kathleen Kennedy write this shit or what?
No. And Ed O'Neill has been in it since episode 1.
How?
I suppose they drove a dump truck full of money up to his house.
I see you remember that line. There you go. Yeah.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the bits with him in the damn shoe store, I swear to God, man. Anytime he was in the damn shoe store is when the jokes really started.
Oh my gosh, the shoe store.
Yeah.
Yes. And so now I have started, I'm now in the process of, after finding the compilations of Al Bundy roasting the fuck out of fat people, I've gone back and watched the first few episodes so far. This is just in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, because this shit's fucking amazing.
Bill, I'm going to disappoint you. Did you know that Married with Children was abruptly cancelled?
Yeah.
But it had like 11
Like a lot of
seasons.
good shows.
It did.
Yeah.
Maxis, is there any show you want to talk about? I know you didn't give me pictures, but you can talk about it if you want. And then we'll go to Mr. Nobody, okay?
Let's just go straight to him.
Okay, Nobody?
All right. Well, I thought about it. I wasn't really exposed to a lot of television when I was younger. My parents usually just chucked me out of the house.
Except for half of the shit I watched that I made him watch later.
Yeah, basically. I also lived in Germany most of my younger years. But
So what you're saying is you watch German television.
Yes.
Yeah.
But one of the classic ones, since we're avoiding cartoons, I would say is Cheers.
Oh,
Okay,
jeez, man, I forgot about that shit.
It was one that
Cheers.
helped me get a little bit bigger of a grasp on American culture, despite how out of place it was. But it also launched a lot of other shows from it. And I think that was another really
Launched a
long-running
couple of
show.
careers, too, actually.
Sounds right.
Oh,
Kirstie Alley got a lot of fucking work after that show.
she did.
Yeah.
But my cousin, hey, Jedi Bill, good to see you, buddy. That bar is still active, and my cousin regularly drinks there, but his wife doesn't know. I need to go.
I just said it on the internet.
So like Norm.
Well, he didn't say which cousin, so he's all right.
Oh, no.
I'm sure she can figure it out.
No, I know. No, it's safe. I know for a fact that she isn't subscribed to me, which I'm offended at. I've got like 300 cousins.
Wow.
Oh, you think I'm joking? I will show you my family tree. I'm not joking.
I believe it.
But Cheers actually got the spin-off Frasier, which was one of my favorite shows when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I like Frasier. Frasier's cool.
Yeah.
Having trouble remembering that one.
Frasier was
Crane.
yes.
Oh,
And it's-
the shrink.
You might
Yeah.
know him
Yeah.
best
Radio
as Beast.
Oh, Lord have
Oh
mercy.
my gosh.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah, so did he. Yeah, but I used to watch it the whole time, and it's still on here every morning at 7 o'clock. And if I'm up, then I will throw it on. And I'm sitting there watching him freak out at the rich people while failing to be one of the rich people. Also, I'm just going to ask this: how the hell did nobody know that Niall Crane was gay?
Oh,
The actor, you mean, not the character?
Yes, the actor. I don't know his name.
Mystical bullshit, I guess.
I asked the same question about Rob Halford.
Once upon a time, people used to mind their own fucking business.
Yeah, that too.
Pretty much.
Well, you'd watch a show or a movie, and then you wouldn't think about who they were porking back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
My mother said that the day that Freddie Mercury came out, that she went to my granddad. Oh my God, Freddie Mercury's gay! Can you believe it? And he turned around and it's like, and. But
Right?
no,
Fucking thank you. Exactly.
I don't think he ever necessarily came out. It was just kind of.
No,
I think people just kind of
Just
figured it
kind of
out.
obvious.
yeah, but what my grandfather done was just funny. It's like my mom's like, I can't believe it, and he just walked over, went to the record rack because they're old, and pulled out "I Want to Be Free" and just held up the cover.
It's like,
And
Freddie didn't even write that song.
no, but
No, but I remember the video.
Oh
Everyone-
God,
oh my
yes.
gosh, the video.
Everyone remembers the video.
so
Why is he dressed as a woman? I don't know.
It's like in Will
It
and Grace,
was-
that guy
It's
didn't
a
come out as gay
soap
till
opera,
after.
soap opera.
Well, yeah, true.
So I'm going to pick another show. Let's scroll through the big list of the 10,000 photos I have. Yes, Barb. And
Oh, yeah, you might want to actually. There you go.
Yes.
I see somebody else saw this show. So the A
They have it
Team,
on Tubi.
Oh my
the A Team came out back in the 80s. Another one I watched a lot. And it's these four guys who they're Vietnam vets. Remember, this came out in the 80s, so it wasn't that long ago,
Yeah.
for them at the time. And
Oh, it's on
they got
Peacock now.
tried for a war crime that they actually had nothing the fuck to do with. And they managed to escape, and having no real discernible future in, normal society, they became a group of mercenaries.
Mhm.
And
Oh.
this show, go ahead.
what I love from the A Team is like, because Mr. T was scared of flying so much that he used to have to drug him to get him onto
Well,
the plane.
let's not forget either. It wasn't just that he was afraid of flying. It's just that every time they did something, they had Murdoch fly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which was the other problem.
And there's a compilation I saw a while ago where it's just you see him and they're sitting in the park and it's like, you guys eating? No, we've already ate. And he's eating the burger and it's like,
Mhm.
taking a drink from this, and it's like, what are you staring at me for?
And it was the thing
Oh,
with this
come
show
on!
is the premise was really simple, but they
Yes.
did so much with it. That show was all over the place. They were in South America. They were out in Montana. They were dealing with oil barons, corrupt taxi union bosses. Just the most
Ironside.
off-the-wall shit. That was Michael Ironside, yeah. Just the most off-the-wall shit. And there was always these consistent things that would always be different. It's like they'd always find a new way to knock BA out so they could fly him somewhere. They would always have to break Murdoch out of the mental hospital somehow. And then inevitably they would find some way where BA would have to fix some shit up that was a complete piece of trash and use it as something they could actually fight the main bad guys with.
Did you hear the story about Mr. T and his kid?
I don't
The
think
actor?
so. I don't know.
So the actor who plays Mr. T turned around and saw years ago when he was young, this woman
Yes,
said, "Hey,
Phoenix, yes, he did.
I'm pregnant by you, and he said, no, that's not my kid. Well, years later, she done a DNA test, and it's like, hey, you are my dad. And the guy absolutely stepped up and gave all the money in like that he owed over the years in child support, and gave her an apology, and has been a good dad to her ever since.
And you know what? Honestly, from what I know of the guy growing up, because he was a big thing when I was a kid, that's exactly what I actually would have expected.
Is he Jewish? Because I've seen him a few times with a yarmulke.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I never really thought to look into it because I'm just not that kind of. I don't tend to look up a lot of shit about actors, unless there's somebody that I heard something about, and I'm like, what the fuck's that about?
He's no longer wearing his gold chains.
Mr.
Well,
T
I mean,
has
eventually
fantastic
you gotta.
cereal.
Yeah.
I mean, at a certain point when you turn like 50, you have to take the chain off.
Hey
Yeah,
there,
I guess
Cranium.
And Phoenix brought up that Dwight Schultz, who played Murdoch, was actually Barkley in TNG also.
Yes.
Yes. I forgot that. How the hell did he go from playing him to a bitch?
He had some range.
Well, I'm going to say
George Papard, the guy with the cigar, the leader. He was in a lot of stuff, like a lot of old Hollywood movies before that show came out.
Speaking about old, Phoenix.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
Quincy M.E.
I used to call it Quincy Me.
Ran from 1976 to 1983, with the main actor being Jack Klugman, who also starred in The Odd Couple and had a walk-in role on Diagnosis Murder, funnily enough. What attracted me to this is the actual passion that Quincy showed for his profession and towards what he investigated in. So he, in fact, what Quincy did was was part of this new unit that went into forensics.
Yeah.
This would later become the model for which we get CSI.
Yeah.
So
this was basically the birth stage of crime scene investigation.
And he also had this lived on a little yacht. So, and he would sometimes have a pretty young thing just staying there. So that's also a plus.
Yeah.
But
Sugar daddy.
The warmth that he showed for what he was investigating and that passion, that was the big draw for me. And I saw this on TV1, I think it's now in Fox Classics at the moment.
One of my favorite memories from that show, because I've always liked computers and the evolution of computer graphics, was he went to this lab and they're like, with the advent of computers, how powerful computers are these days, we can accurately determine what happened with this car crash, the angle of everything that came out, and the angle of the body. And they're like, okay, and you just see this red rectangle on the screen go boop, 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 arching across the screen, and he's standing there and goes, this is amazing. And I'd be there, I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? But that was me when I was younger. Now I appreciate that what it is for the time.
I do like TV shows in the 1970s had computers doing things they still can't do.
I know, right? Eric said, I'm good, thanks. I've been trying to think of a nostalgic TV show. I think MASH was the earliest one I liked. After Star Trek, obviously. Well, obviously.
Fair enough.
Yes, Mountains. Only Fools and Horses. Bottom, Men Behaving Badly, Spitting Image, Father fucking Ted. Jesus Christ. I live this fucking show. This show is my life. Right? This show is about priests living on an island who don't want to be there. There's a man who's ostensibly special needs. There's a priest who hasn't been sober since the last pope died, and this was in the 90s, so that was the 70s. It was absolutely so funny. There was a running joke that whenever Ted phoned his friend, that his friend would die. Literally, every time. There was one where I can't say the letters. Hold on. A specific Irish militant group had them at gunpoint, right? Ooh. And he phoned them. Someone made a run, and they all died. But every episode, his friend ended up alive. There was a really, really classic scene. Mountains will remember this. I know this. They went at Christmas. They went into this shopping center, and they got lost in the women's lingerie section, right? And they were like, Ted, no, I got hurt on my eye because he got hurt from a bra strap that snapped into his face when he was playing with the bras. And there's these two priests, and they're there, and they're like, are you lost? And they're like, what? Me lost? No, yes, of course. And he just hangs up a bra and a pair of tongs onto the rack. And they have this whole sequence like where they're trying to get out, and it's like they have a really boring priest, but it's like but a really exciting voice, and it's like no, you can't do it. So you hear this priest, hey there, Exius or Zays, however you say it. A lot of new people tonight. Hello and welcome. Make sure all of you subscribe. Please, I need friends. My renting on Max is running up, and I have to return her back to the factory soon.
You fucking what?
Wow.
So
I think it's a little backwards.
Yes. So they were there, and this priest is like, beep boop. Like the old intercom is like, good morning, everybody. The store is now closing in 10 minutes. Please bring all your shopping up to the till. Thank you. And there's this woman still shopping, and he turns around and he's like, that means you too in the brown coat. And they open the fire escape. All the wind blows in, and they're all standing there like jumping out. Like they're jumping out of a plane. And then Ted is standing there, and he turns around. And he looks and he jumps out, and he's there, and he just throws a coffee cup in, like he's throwing a grenade in, and then just stands, looks, and then jumps out. Oh my god. Okay. Thank you. It's I'm gonna have to show this to you guys. But yeah. Anyone else want to pick up a show? Mary,
you still got one more of mine tou.
Oh, I know it. I just bounce it through the other.
Two of mine.
Show them.
Okay.
You can do the picture of you. Or that
I'm
one.
not saying mine because all of them will make me sound like a fetus and make y'all sound old.
Maxis, we are old.
You and I are about the same age. You might be a few years younger.
I would be as nice as I possibly can and just bite my tongue in the entirety.
Hey, look,
You haven't been paying attention to the shows that I've been picking up.
Revan, show the other picture.
I didn't see too much wrong with most of yours.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to watch that Quincy ME now.
Sorry. Wait, which one did Mary send? I'm
the
sorry.
one that you said was a picture of you.
Oh yes, the picture of me.
There was some bad endings, but this ending was good.
What the?
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
It's time to cook.
I put off watching that show forever. Everyone told me it was the best show ever, and I was like, no, I just don't have any interest in that. And then I finally was bored and just gave it a shot, and I was obsessed.
They still sell the candy at FYE.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Actually, they did a
I was
reference.
just there a couple of weeks ago.
They did a reference to this show actually in The Walking Dead, where the blue meth is reportedly one of the things that sparked off the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, jeez.
Someone called the police because I think that apron has been sexually assaulted or sexually
Hey, you
abused.
leave my apron alone.
Look, this show was a big enough deal that there are references to it in fucking
Everything.
what is that name of what's the name of that game that I play where you do all those weird ass heists and shit?
Saints Row?
No.
Payday?
Payday. Yeah.
Wait, why in the hell do I know that? I don't play Payday.
I
Well,
played
you
the
wa-
hell out of that
well,
game.
you watch
Payday
the
2
streams.
had references to to that show, to Sons of Anarchy, all kinds of weird shit pops up in it.
Yeah. That show, I need to watch it. As she has asked me to refer to her during the stream, and from now on the streams, the voice in my head has. You guys know who it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the voice in my head has told me to watch Breaking Bad. So Phoenix, you want to talk about this?
Oh, Doctor Who. Now, this is the title card from John Pertwee, and I just wanted to focus on John Pertwee's Doctor itself. Of course, that's what introduced me to the entire series.
Which incidentally, I think it's his son is like one of my preferred British actors.
Yeah, his son is Sean Pertwee.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Now, for this, the episode that brought me in was the Doctor and the Sea Devils. That was during the 1972 run, and the whole run for John Pertwee went from 1970 to 1974.
Yeah.
John Pertwee himself, he had about 6 years in the Royal Navy and wound up going into the Naval Intelligence alongside Ian Fleming, which was probably what inspired the flying car as part of the whole spy gig. And Bessie, his car, the yellow car they got around in, was John Pertwee's own car.
Wait, what? He owned that car?
Yes, he owned that car.
Jesus Christ, man! Did they have any budget for that show?
And
we realize we're talking about Doctor Who here, right?
I was saying, did you remember what that show looked like?
And John Pertwee eventually left that show after John Delgado, the master, died, and he did not like the replacement.
Oh.
So the first episode, which the third Doctor starred in, was in Spearhead from Space, and he left on Planet of the Spiders.
Yes. Do you remember Venusian martial arts?
Oh yeah. He used that because of his own self-defense that he had to learn within the military. So he brought what he had learnt into that show, or all his fencing skills, stuff like that. And John Pertwee also served on the HMS Hood, but managed to. But he was not aboard it when it was sunk.
Well, yeah, so thankfully.
Yeah,
there weren't a lot of people who got out of that one alive.
No.
That I'm not familiar with the HMS Hood.
Okay, 1940, the Bismarck set sail, going out to go raid.
The Hood was the ship that went down trying to take out the Bismarck.
Yeah. The Hood got into a gunfight with a certain German battleship and got hit and exploded. I think 1,400 people on board, 3 survived.
Jesus. Yeah, I didn't know the name, but I know the ship. I've seen like pictures of it, like kind of going kaspluey. Yeah. Okay, so now for me to explain what everyone saw when we walked in, except Maxis. Were you here at the beginning of the stream, girl?
For like 0.2 seconds.
Okay. I'm going to show you something that I showed at the beginning of the stream.
Actually, it was pretty early on, but... Well.
What the?
Oh yeah, Cardcaptor. I commented about that.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes. I just remember this as being the gay version of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I thought that was just Yu-Gi-Oh.
Don't you mean the
That is
straight
just
version of
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
I remember seeing Yu-Gi-Oh once and thinking, like, man, it's weird watching a cartoon about like a kid trying to pick up older men.
No, dude.
Oh, God. Oh,
Okay, well, let's rip on Yu-Gi-Oh for a few minutes. Okay, so
You've
Yu-Gi-Oh.
activated my trap card.
No.
oh God.
Rebo is going to be activated by my trout.
You want to see
Oh,
my
no,
blue eyes dragon?
No.
I will use a fusion.
That's not
I will use my fusion card on you face down.
You want to see what's on top of my deck?
Oh man.
It's a baby. It's a you.
Oh.
The fucking Yu-Gi-Oh pickup lines you could use.
Oh,
But-
God.
Yu-Gi-Oh, guys, did you know that Yu-Gi-Oh himself never won a card game? He always had someone else do for him.
Lazy prick.
I know, right?
Wait, Yugi didn't?
No, Yami did.
Oh my god, Yami did. Wait, but what about the one time when
No,
Yami was stuck in the... How long ago was that? Hold on.
Sorry, I only speak American.
all I'm. So, guys, one second,
Bandit
because
Keith.
I need to get. I'm going to get this image up. So, guys, you just talk about Yu-Gi-Oh because we need to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh for a second because this character I'm going to post is very relevant.
Everyone is superior.
Yes, it is in every way. But I'm going to show you guys something that has made every single person except for Mary on this panel feel things. And so once
Is it discussed?
Are we talking about something that involves
Oh.
something magical?
Dark Magician Girl.
Fucking called it.
She ain't no girl.
You ain't wrong, and I hate you for that.
Yeah. When in the episode where they went back to ancient Egypt, that was everyone was just looking and staring at that episode. Like that was apparently one of the highest rated episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh to date.
I'm still laughing that they censored her card.
Fuck,
I
of course
know.
they did, right?
Because censorship! Because 4 kids.
There's nothing on G
it's 4
Fighter.
kids. You just said 4 kids, and that explained fucking everything.
I
Yes.
know, right? With the...
These are the
Jelly
geniuses who
pills
decide to
and-
turn all the booze into One Piece into berry juice, and all the guns into pop guns.
And not to mention, and nothing could be Japanese because jelly donuts.
Ah. Oh
So,
God!
Phil,
Four
are you
kids
back?
One
Remember when
Piece
they
was
made
the
them all
worst.
sing the national anthem?
Oh man!
Spread
Yes,
that out.
So guys, just letting you know that when we meet up next summer and we go to a baseball game, I am going to, on the top of my lungs, when everyone is singing the national anthem of America, I'm going to sing the national anthem of North Korea.
I ain't going to a ball game with you.
I don't think you
I'm
know
gonna
the
sit
national
down
anthem of
and
North
just-
Korea.
You'll just see me on the ground at that point. Laughing
I
my
will-
ass off. We'll
I
go
will
from
throw
there.
something at you.
You're gonna do it for Rangers game?
Is it Maxis? Just pick her up and throw her at me.
Eh,
I'll
it
wait
worked.
outside so I can
So time
sign
to
off on the
speak
morgue.
about
Yep,
another
willingly
show.
throw me.
This.
Oh dear God!
Quantum Leap. I love this show. This show has to be one of my favorite shows ever. Scott Bakula is fantastic in this show.
You know,
And he-
What
Yeah.
you're telling me, Revan, is that we're watching this at some point, right?
Yes, of
I
course.
remember-
Oh, that reminds me, Revan.
'Cause that
Yeah.
You were
was-
just going on about how you hadn't seen the '80s V. I can fix that
Oh, please, yeah.
Hey!
because I have all of it.
Of course you do. You probably recorded
Watch
it
parties
live.
for days.
Nah, it's on DVD chat.
Yeah,
Yes.
so-
My mother recorded it.
For any of you who don't know, Quantum Leap is about this guy who basically is going into people's bodies, fixing time, and making sure that no one done fucks up. Right?
I'm back.
Hey Phil, we're currently talking about this show.
I got one question though.
Yo,
Why does that cover look like they're having a breakup?
It does.
The one dude in the background's like, I guess I can't win them all.
I've watched way too much Hallmark for this. Now I can't unsee it.
God.
Oh no, no.
Oh God, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
So
Well, like,
there was, he had to go in and he had to stay in the body and persona of the people who he was in. And one episode he was in as a pregnant woman, and another one he was in as a man with Down syndrome.
oh
Yeah, Scott Bakula was walking around the episode in a cowboy suit, acting like someone with special needs at a childlike level. That is one of the greatest things I have ever seen.
no, that sounds absolutely
And
glorious.
Scott
surprised he
Bakula
hasn't
had
been-
to.
I'm surprised he hasn't been cancelled.
But the thing is,
That's
you
because
have
no
to-
one noticed. Until
Yeah.
Yet.
Well, I'm just
Don't
I'm just
tell them now.
I'm just waiting for the SJWs to basically look at Star Trek and notice what the Klingons actually were. The actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Martok.
Martok, yeah, and all those guys. But I'm not going to say anything bad about them because honestly, I fucking love the Klingons from Star Trek. So yeah.
Real Star Trek.
Yes.
Wait, hold on. There's a fake Star Trek. I did not know that. When was
Yeah,
this?
let's don't get into that.
No,
Let's
let's
not
not.
go
Yeah.
there.
His
So
name is J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, that's
and I'm so sorry,
his butt
Mr.
boy.
Nobody Sonny had to leave the galaxy.
I came back.
Yeah, he got in the window. So they turned around and he was going through the entire thing, and because he was trying to get home. That was his whole thing, trying to get home to his wife, and it turned out in the very last episode that he could have gone home at any time. Right? And his very last decision in the episode was to go back in. So canonically, if they decided to bring it back, he could still be going through.
Oof.
Yes.
I don't know if they'd be able to do that with Scott Bakula at his age.
Why wouldn't they? He aged in the show. He literally mentioned that he was getting older. Because
maybe.
he was living out a normal lifetime, just in different spaces in time. He was living out normal life because he was spending days. Okay, let's see another one for Phil. Phil,
Sorry, you caught me in the middle of a hit.
Some warlord in Japan's going down.
armchair. Why are we looking at your Japanese propaganda wing?
Oh, jeez.
This was mine, okay? Look. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about Ninja Warrior. Not the American Ninja Warrior. The original Japanese Ninja Warrior, which in America, it was an edited version of a obstacle course show similar to Wipeout, but less about comedically watching people fail at an obstacle course.
Is it similar to Takeshi's Castle?
I've never seen that.
I will link it to you.
But yeah, basically it's an obstacle course for like people who are actually trying to be athletic and make it through an obstacle course. Like, and if you fall into the water or fall off the thing, you automatically are out. So it's not like it's a lot less like a game.
Stop, cat.
So it's like being on a boat. If you fall into the water, you're not allowed to be in the Navy anymore.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
But yeah, this the American Ninja Warrior was originally made for like not just as the American counterpart to the Japanese show, but it would be like the winner of the show the winner of American Ninja Warrior would go on to compete in the Japanese show. They don't do that anymore. But
Yeah.
But yeah, it was if you like this is the show that really sparked my love for watching, the obstacle course shows like Wipeout, and there was one on Netflix called Ultimate Beastmaster. They had 3 seasons.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yep.
So
And
yeah. No, you were saying?
Yes.
No, go ahead. I lost my
Okay.
train of thought.
I'm sorry. So we just got in a new one from Armchair.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear God.
Okay,
What the
so this is Japanese
What the
Iron Chef.
Fuck. Oh,
And
jeez.
It is one of the best things ever made for television. So you know how Food Network has a yes.
This made me way too happy.
What the hell, guys?
Yes. So
And he did bite into that and eat it.
he did. Yes, he does. He doesn't. Like
Wait, hold on. Wait, you don't do that, dude. I eat those. Like, I love them raw.
huh.
Like, when I'm cooking, I eat them raw. When I go to Subway, I order them and I get on my Subway. It's just a weird thing. Do I need to tell this to Katala?
No.
Maybe.
Not weird per se.
Wow,
I know a
guys.
lot of people
However-
that do that.
However, you do share this with Chairman Kaga, so Chairman Kaga is awesome,
Wow.
and so I can't say you're that far wrong for it.
Yay!
This is a cooking show with the aesthetics of Super Sentai. Okay,
What the hell?
like it's just amazing. There was a pale and pathetic imitation of it that American imitation of it that Food Network started up after they stopped making this in Japan. However, the original Japanese edition is just amazing. It's the best thing ever. It's difficult to describe.
Just imagine you'd have some cook come on there to try to prove he was so much better than everyone else, and he'd get this selection of Power Rangers to cook off against, and he'd pick which one to fight.
Oh my god, it was amazing! Yeah, and like they had like rivalries. It was like pro wrestling.
Oh my god! So
And this
speaking-
guy would be sitting there giving everyone this look the whole time.
Yeah.
They had an entire army of Japanese chefs who were specifically pissed off at Masaharu Morimoto, and they were like every time they had somebody like one of their members like challenge him like to the samurai battle, they would like march in like they were an army with banners.
I watched a guy actually shave his head after losing on the show. On the show.
Oh my god! So
wow.
I have a picture to show for 1 second. Speaking about,
Let me see if I can find pictures of the Oda faction.
yeah, please do. But speaking about Power Rangers and about being pissed off,
Oh,
Guys, come on, man.
come on,
Sir,
come on, dude.
sir.
speaking about knives, speaking about swords, Phil.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So,
Jen,
Highlander.
deal with that.
A lot of people believe, and almost correctly so, that the first movie is the only true Highlander thing that really exists, and
It certainly is
everything
among
else
the movies.
Yeah.
and everything else was nothing more than a terrible fever dream that everybody just all at the same time just imagined being in existence.
You're right, Phil. That's why the cartoon exists, to remind us of its divine glory.
But Highlander also had a reasonably good series in the 90s with Adrian Paul starring as Duncan MacLeod, a younger clansman of the famed Connor MacLeod.
Okay.
And
Yep.
no,
It's a pretty good show.
it was actually a really good show. Confession, I only have really watched the first 3 seasons. I know there's like 3 more. and I haven't watched them yet.
It's pretty decent most of the way through. Don't watch Raven.
Don't
after.
watch Raven.
Oh
no.
yeah, I've heard.
I mean,
I've
because
heard
not
Raven's a
only
disaster.
is it bad, but it really ruins that character too.
Hey, and once you've watched all 6 of those seasons and you go and watch Highlander The Source, you can see how they bastardized every good thing they created.
They ruined Mythos. They killed
I would
Joe.
like to
Fuck
pretend that
movie.
that's. I would hope at least that it wasn't the same people writing the series that wrote that movie.
No, it was spiteful midgets.
There was nobody writing that movie. It was like a sci-fi channel movie.
So I'm going to bounce
God, those
over
are all
to
effectively terrible.
Phoenix. You want to explain this?
Hogan's Heroes.
Hey!
Hogan's Heroes, 1965 to 1971, with Bob Crane as Hogan, and had a guest bit on Quincy as Dr. Jameson in Has Anybody Seen Quincy? Colonel Clink, Werner Klempener, and Sergeant Schultz, played by John Banner. Now, while the bad guys from World War II thought they were running the camp, it was in fact the inmates, run by Hogan and the rest of his
Guys,
band.
hold on. We can get back to this for 1 second, but Mary just has to head off. Mary, would you like to show yourself to anyone who's not subscribed to you?
Oh, sure. I host a gaming channel every Saturday. Well, sometimes Mondays. I do digital games on Mondays and live board games on Saturdays. So if anybody wants to subscribe, always welcome to have anybody in chat. So
Yeah.
we're about to do a 24-hour charity
Jesus.
marathon here coming up soon. So in the next couple months. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. So the link to all these channels and the guys who will show themselves later on will be pinned in the comment as soon as this live stream ends. Well, Mary, thank you so much
And
for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'll talk to you
Always.
later.
Later. Be
Bye.
safe, girl.
Mhm.
Bye. Okay, so back to Hogan's Heroes.
Run by Hogan and his merry band. You had Leclerc, who was the main cook and able to bribe off Sergeant Schultz. Perhaps one of the reasons why he looks so large. Newport, con artist, local con man. Now I'm blanking on some of the other names. Anyone else?
Nope.
I'm waiting for 5 or 8 of you to chime in.
I don't have. Let's see. I did watch this show. I enjoyed this show.
Yeah, I enjoyed this too. I'm just blanking on some of the names.
I'm having trouble myself because it's been a long time since I've seen it. I keep meaning to actually get it. I just need to find it.
Yeah, it's a fun series, and the egging on, the sabotage, the fact that they even have the German shepherds trained to let them come up from underneath the dog kennel. Oh, that's hilarious stuff. It's funny.
Yeah. So we're going to bounce, Phoenix. We're going to do you twice because I just cleaned off these lists. Okay.
Right. Mikhail's Navy.
Hey, Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah. Ernest Borgnine as Lieutenant Commander Mikhail. Tim Conway as Ensign Charles Parker, and Joe Flint as Binghamton. Ran from 1962 to 1966. Main draw for this was mainly because they were on a patrol boat in the Pacific. They used a lot of stock footage for the combat, but the idea of these guys just going around the Pacific in a patrol boat and getting up into all these antics, trying to kind of teasing the upper brass.
Yeah.
That was a huge draw for me. And not only that, it was thanks to this that also eventually drew me to Black Lagoon. I mean, the fact that both of them had a patrol boat.
Yeah, they did. They had that old modified PT boat that belonged
Yeah.
to Dutch, I think.
Yes, run by Dutch. So it's.
Although there was
Sometimes
one
that-
episode of Black Lagoon with that thing that really did kind of piss me the fuck off.
It was because of the whole idea of just cruising around in a PT boat. It's thanks to this that drew me to Black Lagoon, and that's also a fun anime.
Black Lagoon's great. It's just that bit with the PT boat where they took out the Hind D the captain was in.
Oh, yeah.
That pissed me the fuck off.
They launched it off of the sunken ship, turned on.
That
its
was
side.
so fucking dumb.
Am I missing anyone else's shows?
Yeah, mine.
Oh God, no. Which one?
The one with
Airwolf.
There you go. And you can see we got Ernest Borgnine again, which kind of makes me laugh. Airwolf was an interesting show because Airwolf, aside from being a cool show for reasons I will list, if you notice the girl there behind the main character, that's Caitlin. Caitlin's one of those things people don't like to talk about because it defies that popular notion that there were no strong female characters in TV shows in the 80s.
How dare you, sir?
Because Caitlin was actually a police patrol pilot before she actually joined their team. The first episode she appears in is where you have this jackass sheriff basically running this little town like it's his own private kingdom with people under the threat of fucking death because they're out in the middle of nowhere. And she's one of the people that has actively been defying this guy and basically trying to get him reported. And she's in the entire damn show. She routinely is part of the fucking crew for this top secret ass fucking helicopter, in fact. But what it is you got this guy who he came back from Nam and he lost his brother there. His brother was a POW, MIA, no idea what happened to him. And one of the deals he makes with this organization, which I can't remember the name of the organization, but the guy that runs it's called Archangel. It's a code name. And they get him to fly this top secret fucking helicopter on these missions they need him to do in exchange for trying to help him find his brother. And through the course of this, they end up getting mixed up with, Borgnine's character, Dominic Santini, who runs this little aircraft outfit called Santini Air, which does shit for like movies and stunts and shit like that. And that's basically the guy's day job. Is he works at Santini Air doing a lot of aircraft stunts. And there was so much interesting shit in there. Like it's a gotta watch if you like fucking helicopters or helicopter stunts for one thing. Because they did a lot of cool shit in the show. There's an episode where if anybody remembers the old prop job Corsair fighters from World War II, there's an episode where he fucking shows down with one of those. There's an episode called HX-1 where he's up against another freaking war veteran in a helicopter that's on par with the one he's got.
Yeah.
There was even stuff going on that was kind of topical in its own weird way. It was an episode, I think it was called Eruption, but Mount St. Helens here in America had erupted throughout the 80s. And in 1980, we had a real bad one that did kill a lot of people when it happened.
Yep.
And there was, during eruption, they actually used some footage from the St. Helens eruption. And the episode in itself was interesting because it was kind of covering the whole issue with unions kind of getting out of control in some regions. Because it was about this mining union that, without the owner's actual authorization, was still forcing people to work near this dangerous volcano that was basically getting ready to erupt. And you know what? Yeah. My brother brought it up. It's called The Firm. That was the organization. They had no official name, but they were called The Firm.
Okay.
But there was a lot of cool shit in this show. The helicopter stunts like crazy. The plots were freaking fun. Everything from like trying to rescue people from a plane that had like crashed into the ocean to freaking fighting assholes who were stockpiling weapons and like holding people hostage. There was a lot of cool shit in this show. At one point, they even raid a freaking castle in like Germany where there's a legit freaking old guy with like ties to the old Nazi party who's getting ready to do some ridiculous shit, and that was entertaining as hell.
Jesus. But guys, we're gone for nearly an hour and a half. I'm saying what if we like shield ourselves, and then we wrap this up.
Go for it, man.
Yeah. Far if you want to, because you're literally first in line.
Yeah. Okay. I got a channel called Farvithian Guard. It's spelled the same as the name on my title card here. And then just guard, like a guard. I do a lot of gaming stuff on there. We've got a few discussion videos on there that I've done with Armchair Warlord and my brother. I have an ongoing Saints Row 2 thing to celebrate the demise of Saints Row at the hands of Deep Silver. Lots of interesting stuff like that. And I am slowly working. What's that?
Mara's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. As Phoenix likes to refer to my character as. And we're slowly working on upgrading stuff for the channel, but that's a matter of time and money. It's an ongoing project, and we don't get no money. We're not monetized, so it just takes time to get our shit together.
Thanks, YouTube.
But I'm good on that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Arms?
Hey. So
you want to DM me your book cover so I can like pop it up?
Yeah, I will. Actually, let me
You don't
send
have
that to
it
you real quick.
saved yet?
Well,
no.
in the meantime, let me while I'm looking for this, let me chill another channel that I appear on, which belongs to Katal Laris, who could not be here today because she was extremely tired. So I'll put that link in the chat right now. It's mostly a gaming channel, mostly Guild Wars, and I appear on there with her pretty regularly, along with Farv and Phoenix frequently these days. But really, a lot of this, I think everyone on this panel has been on there with her at some point.
Yeah,
At least once.
yeah.
Here, let me fix your problem.
Aw. There's his book. There's Armchair's book.
Yes, that is my book. Let me post a link here so you can. There we go.
Buy the hardcover.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I just put the link for my book in the chat, and it's very good. It's got very good reviews, and I'm working on the sequel. So.
Yeah. So, Phil, you want to show yourself?
Yeah, okay. So my channel is called Kilroy Was Here. I do gaming streams, either by myself or the occasional group stream with some of these beautiful people I have on stream with me today.
Aw, he thinks I'm people.
And
Don't lie.
I know, right?
Don't talk about me like that. I'm like a rock that's homely.
Good
That's
God.
just the name
Christ.
of the gremlin.
I'd like to do a stream tomorrow.
Ooh.
Probably just a solo stream. So look out for that if no one else here is planning on doing anything tomorrow.
Okay. Max, do you have anyone or anything you want to show?
I'm
And
just
you
gonna
want
go
to
back to the void.
Oh.
Look,
Love y'all.
dude.
Back to the void.
Yeah. Look, Maxis, I tell you, I only let you out of the pot once a year, okay?
By the
Other
way,
than
Max, before we
You
go,
know
just
why.
while I got you here, Max, I'm still playing. I still ain't watched that movie.
And I'm still gonna be here. I was meant from the live stream, hon.
Oh, I know. I was just letting you know that I'm still waiting to watch that movie till you can watch it.
That's why.
And that
Yeah.
we're going to eventually rent that new Nick Cage movie and watch that if you're interested.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to thank absolutely everybody for coming. And for that weird troll who hit me, thanks for the interaction, I guess. Your messages help my algorithm. But sure, okay.
Thank you for spending. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to thank all 28 people for the likes. So thank you. Everyone have a good night. Stay safe.